Hello and welcome. Yeah, it's raining quite a lot these days. And as you can see, and of course know from your own personal experience, the rain falls on everything. Nothing is excluded. Falls on the grass, on the trees, on buildings, on cars, on humans, on animals, on shit, simply everything. This is the metaphor and the idea for mindfulness practice that I really value a lot. It is a practice designed for how to deal with difficult emotions, and the practice is called rain. You will see why. I'm going to explain it with some general words, but also want to show you my own experience with this practice. We'll give you an example from my daily life. So why is this practice called rain? Rain consists of 4 letters: R, A, I, and N. And every letter stands for a part of this practice. So we start with R. R means recognition, recognize. So whenever you have a strong or a difficult emotion, the first thing you have to do is to recognize the fact that you are having this strong emotion. So my personal example from the recent days, for example, is, you all probably know what's going on in the world at the moment, and it can be quite overwhelming. And every morning I read the news on my phone, read the news, what's happening in Ukraine, what's happening in Israel, in Gaza, and elsewhere in the world. Often I get a bit tense, anxious, worried. And the very first thing, as I said, is you have to recognize it. If you want to work with it, you have to recognize it. Sometimes it happens that I read the news and get more and more tensed and anxious without even recognizing it. So, whenever you have a strong emotion, you have to wake up and recognize it first. And of course, a formal mindfulness practice is very supportive of this waking up. So I recommend, of course, formal practice. The rain is informal. It is practiced in the moment of having a difficult emotion. So recognize, recognize. The second letter is A. And A means here acceptance, to accept. So when you have recognized that you are having a difficult emotion, you have to accept the fact. So the opposite would be to push your experience, your difficult emotion away from you, to suppress it, maybe to deny it. No, I'm not anxious. No, I'm not worried. So when I read the news, recognize that I'm worried and anxious and tensed. I have to accept this fact. That is the second important step in this practice. Just accept, okay, right now, in this moment, I'm tensed and anxious and very worried, maybe overwhelmed. And then you can shift to the third letter, which is I. And it stands for investigation. Investigate, to investigate. So I have recognized and accepted my difficult emotion. And what I can do then is to investigate this emotion very closely, physically. Where in my body is this emotion? Here, am I tensed in the chest? My shoulders are tensed and crampy. What are accompanying thoughts? I, for example, when I'm anxious, when I'm worried because of the world situation, I do this here, and my shoulders get very tensed. My chest, my breath becomes more rapid. It's not as deep and calm as it was before. And all these things can be investigated very closely. What are the thoughts? Am I afraid of a third world war? Oh, this is going to happen, that is going to happen. Investigate it. Investigate this complex of emotions and thoughts. And the last letter is N. And N stands for non-judgment, non-judgmental attitude. So, when I'm anxious, I'm anxious. It is not good, it is not bad. It's just a matter of facts in this moment. So it's very important, and it goes kind of hand in hand with this acceptance part of this practice. It's very important not to judge your experience. There is nothing wrong with being anxious. There is nothing wrong with being angry. Very important is, the only thing that matters is in this moment, okay, I am worried, I am angry, I am sad. I investigate this feeling, or this complex of thoughts and feelings. I investigate that, accept that, don't judge it, and treat it like a close friend. So, and there you can see why this metaphor of physical rain makes sense. The rain falls on everything. It doesn't judge. It doesn't say, oh, there is a pile of dog poo. I don't fall on the dog poo. No, it just falls on the dog poo. It falls on the grass. It falls on human beings. Nothing is excluded. And that is a very valuable practice, in my opinion. And I put a link down below in the video description where the practice is explained in someone else's words. I mean, this is my own words and my own experience. You can read it in someone else's words. But the most important thing is that you practice it for yourself and make your own experience with that. Try it. I can really only recommend it. Try it, see what happens, and be well, and see you soon.